Proxy.
I see you hiding back there.
I get whatever.
Good evening.
Oh my God, he's spiffy tonight. You know, bad self.
Don't miss out Mr. Martin.
I know that's.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that he had joined the other group that wears the bow tie.
Ready, Counselor?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Good evening. I'm glad to see you all. This is the regular council meeting, Tuesday, April 21st. It is 6:30 in this council chambers. Madam Clerk, would you call the order?
Counselor King?
Present.
Counselor Martin?
Present.
Counselor Baker?
Present.
Counselor Wheeler?
Here.
Counselor Thomas?
Here. Remarks of the public, would you,
On agenda items only,
and of the time limit.
3 minutes to each resident.
Thank you.
Oh, it's time.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is, sir. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Mr.
Okay, look at it while you stand there.
Okay, thank you. I'm concerned about resolution 1115, 1215, 1315, 2015, I guess all of them are about. My concerns is, and I cannot fathom this. Here we are in dire straits for capital, and we're selling our prime property. That's what everybody wants, because they're landlocked, they want to come in this city, and we just tearing down. We get money to tear down our city, but we can't get money to rehab and build. And then we turn around, and I hope that this council will get some backbone and say no to this kind of stuff. Keep just selling off our city. I mean, the land for $100. You can't even buy a pair of shoes, tennis shoes for $100. Here you are selling land, prime land, for $100. And you're sitting up here, keep authorizing the stuff like this. This is why it keep happening, because you keep authorizing it. And it just depleting this city. You are helping to put it in, position it to go emergency. Oh, I'm not saying emergency, annexation. It just does not make any sense. And then what are they going to do with it? Hold it until everything happens, and then they'll sell it back to the people. You're not asking any questions. What are you going to do with it? What you going to put on? Are you going to develop it? Or what are you going to do with it? Just sit there and hold it, and then they'll get some money out of it. Triple what we getting out of it. I could even buy a piece of property. I bought a piece of property that cost me over $3,000. A lot. $3,000. He was sitting up here selling for $100. You know where in the world you can buy no property for no $100? Here. Stupid.
Terry toll-free, 145 Level Terrace Road. I actually live in East Cleveland, Ohio. Not Shaker Heights or Cleveland Heights or University Heights. In regards to East Cleveland, Ohio, I'll start with what I've been saying. The people there, anywhere else. What they would do is gentrify us, send our taxes sky high, and there are elected people that keep saying it wouldn't involve the school system. As far as I'm concerned, that's not true. I really, as a grassroots community activist for over 30 years, I don't know, and I think somebody actually came on national and said something like this, National Black Radio, and stated, why would we want to become part of a city that's under the jurisdiction of the United States Department of Justice, And out of, what was that, 13 cops with the 137 bullets, there's only one down there, and the people I know want all of them need to be indicted. They need to go to jail. It was murder. It was a lynching.
Pardon me, I hate to break up this.
Oh, I went off the reservation.
Well, I'm good.
I went off the reservation.
That's all right.
But what I was saying, I was dealing with the land issue. I don't want to be part of my favorite hometown of Pickett, Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, then. Thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
I carried away.
I got carried away. I'm so sorry.
All right, is there any more, that will speak on the agenda items only? What, well, huh?
Just one here.
Oh, Mr. Strother?
Yeah, just one thing.
Excuse me, Council President, President, is this public commentary?
Yes.
This
Anybody
is
wants to speak on
remarks
agenda
of the
items only,
public.
please?
Agenda items only.
Specifically to agenda items?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
At the end,
I stand corrected. Thank you.
Ms. Geneva, you can speak on anything, all
That's
right?
how I got in trouble.
It's my understanding, the last time we were here, this place, that the property, one of the property you have there was already, this is not a first reading for it. I'm just confused, because you got first reading on stuff that's second reading at least, can't be first reading. So I hate to mess it up, but they're not first readings, they're second readings. And the one on the Lake Shore one was sold. That, I thought you guys agreed on and said that was okay. The only thing that you did not agree on was Pope, because of his name. But now it's coming back as a first read. I'm just totally confused. And I really need y'all to clarify this before you start voting.
I don't want you to be confused, Madam Clerk.
You were at the committee meeting, and it was going to be moved to an agenda review. We didn't move it out of, they were in committee at that time. They weren't moved to an actual agenda yet. You were at the committee meeting.
So was it,
Yeah, we hadn't moved them to an actual agenda review. You were at the committee meeting.
so they came out of committee now?
Yes, this is the first time.
When did the committee meet?
The committee met over 3 weeks ago. We held up the 3 pieces until we got the clearance and the, what they wanted in committee. They wanted clarification on Mr. Pope's piece. We got the revised minutes and that as requested. Once we did, now on this past agenda review, they were all placed on agenda review once we got the revised minutes per Mr. Pope's piece. Then they were all 3 placed on agenda review. Now this is why they're first reading. They were never placed on an agenda review or on a prior council meeting.
And if you want documentation, you can stop in the office and we can bring you up to date from the agenda review to the committee meeting and so forth and so on. And I don't want you to be confused. That's the last thing.
Yeah, the last time, the committee meeting was right before agenda review, but everything was held up, so that's why we never moved them forward until that one piece.
All right, the mayor was supposed to be next, he's not here. But I have some exciting news, to share with the audience and also to, let people know that East Cleveland is being looked at and, has been given help. I know you all have heard about the 3 houses on Bender, that burnt down and an automobile in the area was burnt. We had a problem. We only had 1 truck at that time, but now I hear that Nick Meyer, Marshall Ford Auto Group owner saw a piece regarding the problems with our city, the fire equipment on the news, and he sent representatives to our fire department. And our union president, Tom Booth, is he here today? Mr. Booth, would you step forward?
Yes, ma'am.
On Saturday, April 18, 2015, to assess the equipment. Tom and the reps from Ford Auto Group went through the fleet, prioritized the vehicles for repair. Nick Myers Marshall Ford Group is going to take care of the repairs free of charge. Currently, Command Car 152 is at Marshall Ford. Squad 142 is scheduled. The next engine 112 truck 121 and truck 122 will be scheduled after the return of engine 112. Will you give us some history on that? I was just reading what has taken place, and I'm so excited about it because all hope is not lost, and that says also for our city. Can you give us an update on that?
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Thomas Booth. I'm the union president from Local 500. This past couple of weeks have been very, well, I should actually say since last year, we've been having problems with equipment, trying to get them fixed. And we ran a few times with just, a single engine, no squads available, one squad working, no fire protection running. So the date that she's referring to over on Bender, the night before, they responded to an alarm and pulled out in front, and it died, cut out right in front of the station. So at that time, it just sat there until the morning, until they can get somebody to at least take a look at it. And they try to do their diligent efforts of trying to get it started, unable to get it done. The next following morning, the superintendent of equipment, Douglas Theobald, which is a lieutenant with us, stepped up, isolated the problem within being the fuel system. We had water in the fuel, which we have a hole in our fuel tank that the water's merging into our fuel tank. So at that time, our filters were full of water, because every time we fill up our water tank, it would overflow, and then it would it would disperse wherever it can go, and then it went into the fuel tank. So at that time, we drained the entire tank, with everything in it. We had a mason jar, which was 97% water, 3% fuel. So that was the reason why it didn't stay running. Got it back up and running at around 4 p.m. So the city of East Cleveland then was down fire protection due to that was the only apparatus that we had working at the time. So for him and his crew of guys, I've commended those guys, and I told them, because later on that evening at 1:40 in the morning, we got a report of a house fire, reported with 3 houses burning with kids trapped. Well, when you get that notification, you get that type of call, I just wanted to pretend that that was a dream, because you didn't want to, we at that point know what we have to do, and that's get those kids out of there. So we showed up on the scene. We had very heavy fire blowing out the front of the center house. Both houses on each side were burning. So at that time, with the crew of 10 people that we had there, I actually stretched one hand line to the front, executing of putting water on this to try to knock down the body of fire. I wasn't doing anything with that. So we were able to secure on the left side of the house facing it. The lieutenant went in, had to knock down a large body of fire for him to even just get into the house through a window, because we had no access. And come to find out, people were outside already across the street. So our efforts of, making a search were, kind of invalid, but doesn't matter, whoever's in the house, we're going in. We're gonna get you out, okay? That's what we're here for, that's what we get paid to do, and that's what we're gonna, and the reason why I went on the media is because you guys needed to know. You guys had no knowledge that the vehicles were at this level. So, for having to continue, right now we're still down to 1 engine. It's just fixed with a Band-Aid. I mean, the water's still going into the tank. But we're working with Nick Meyer from Marshall Ford, and also, his people that were out there going over everything. We went over to everything with a fine-tooth comb, So it's nice to see support that we need, but it shouldn't have to come from that. But from now until we get things lined up, we're working hard over there. We're not just hanging out, we're busting our tails. So what I really want to stress is to everybody is when we show up, know that we're here and know that we're here working hard for you guys, okay? That's the main thing I want to stress. And I've been hoping to try to get some communication. I went to the chief, certain, purchase requests were over at finance. So, I'm trying to do my best to find out where everything is at. But, I really think that this man actually stepped forward to give us a hand, and it was like, I was shocked. I was like, what are you doing here? So, but very nice person. I know us as the firefighters union is gonna, give him an appreciation. Just because, he's helped us out a lot. The units are gonna be fixed. 111 is our working pumper right now out front. One of the squads that we got from Shaker just was delivered to him at his shop to be repaired. It's throwing codes. I think it's an oil pressure issue. 152 is our command car. That is at his office, getting completely serviced, redone, whatever needs to be done. Once that comes back, the ladder truck just got taken down to Cleveland Spring to get new springs put on it because it blew out the front springs on. We can't be driving around, we can't be putting, working that unit like we should with no springs on the front suspension. So once that's there, once that's done, when that comes back, we're gonna send out another engine, which is 112 that needs some front end work. Send that down, get that repaired, get that back, and then send our mainline engine out. That way we always have a working piece of equipment for the city and the citizens. Squads, we wanna make sure that we have at least 2 squads working. Once the squads get done, by the time we get done with them, hopefully, we should have 3 complete working squads all the time. And 1 will be in reserve unit. In case 1 goes down, we can move 1 right up. So, I hope I explained the best I could. Last night, they had another fire down on Bender.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know what's going on Bender, but it's.
our task force is working hard with the Detective Bureau to find out what's going on. But, please, I don't know if this is the block watches, if you see anything suspicious, help out. It's just, the last thing we want to do is, and these are occupied structures, they weren't abandoned buildings. So, kids, I have a 7-year-old at home. It terrifies me to be at work and then having things happen at home and I can't do nothing about it. I can just imagine what everybody else feels like.
Well, I thank you,
So,
President Tom. I called, the president and talked to him at length over the phone because I want everybody to know just what is going on. And there was some concern about the president getting on television. I'm not concerned about him getting on television. I see he should have been howling from the top of the terminal tower to let everybody know what is going on. And he has been putting in requisitions.
Yes.
And it's not a issue of not knowing what is wrong. It has been known all along. You guys know that you had a article in the paper not too long ago that stressed the vehicle. But when you get the media involved, the media don't exactly articulate what is happening and give it like a person of the president's caliber, knowing what is happening. They also asked the Chief Wilcox asked the council if we could provide, and I think I reported on this last time, if we could provide part-time firefighters so that they could defray the cost of overtime, and that was granted. Also, the police asked us, this council, to deal with taking a test so that they could have a pool of individuals that they could draw from. But I'm excited that someone outside of East Cleveland is giving us some help in donating something in like labor, which is astronomical in fare indeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Firefighting.
Someone outside the city.
Well, they still.
When I say someone outside the city, it's American-made cars, and they sell American-made cars, which is Marshall Ford.
Yes.
And I don't think they're asking us to buy any of the cars. I think they're doing this out of a humanitarian situation, and I appreciate that very, very much.
We're in a mess.
Moving right along.
Madam Chairman, before you
Yes.
proceed, you excuse me, you alluded for the mayor to make remarks. Did he notify you that he wasn't be at this meeting this evening?
No, I asked the law director, Ms. Hemmings, a few minutes ago, would the mayor be here, and she said she was anticipating him coming. He did not say he wasn't coming, so I have to rely on what the law director is saying. If he does not show up, then he will not be here.
Well, did he tell you he would just fill in for him this evening?
Well, if he doesn't show up, then he doesn't mean.
Well, see, it's not sufficient. This is a governmental entity with a corporation. And he has a responsibility, if he's not going to be here, to designate someone to fill in for him. This is going on too long. Too long.
That's what I'm doing.
But no, he has to designate, the charter stipulates that you or whatever, but he has a responsibility. You being the president of council to tell you that he's not going to be here, and this is a person filling in for him. And we've raised this question for over a year now. Okay, I just have to put that out because I'm just getting kind of fed up with the fact that this is a corporation, this is a government entity, this is business. Okay, and he has a responsibility as the mayor, an elected mayor, to let you know whether he's going to be here or not and designate someone to fill in for him. Okay, I'm going to continue. I brought this up a number of times. I thought a couple of times he showed up that it would stop, but it still continues. I'll say that to him. I've said it while he's here, when he shows up. But for him to not show up and not designate the law director or whoever the charter stipulates that should be there, is unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. Thank you.
Councilman Martin, I totally agree with you. And if you have a direct recommendation for the alleviation of such, I guess, derelict of duty, put it in writing, and we will present it to the law director. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. And at the present time, she said if she is the designee,
Yes.
if the mayor does not show up.
He told me
he
to
told you?
represent him,
All
yes,
right.
if he did not get back in time.
Thank you, but my counsel has a recommendation, and I'm sure he'll put it in writing, and we'll be sending it to your office. Thank you very much. Moving right along. Is there any old business? Any new business?
We have Representatives Cuyahoga County Sewer District here to give their presentation.
With the sewer district, come forward, give your name, and proceed with your presentation. And I'm happy to have you.
Thank you. Good evening, members of council. My name is Michael Dever. I am the interim director of public works for Cuyahoga County. I'm here today to present to you an overview of the work we've done in the city over the past year and our plans going forward. We have a presentation that we're going to hand out. I think we have enough copies He says we're good, but if that's okay, we can
That's
them out.
fine.
Thank you.
Approximately about a month ago, a little under a month ago, we presented to the mayor and the administration an overview of what we have done, the work the sanitary division has done for the city of East Cleveland. As many of you know, or a few of you were on council at the time in 2010, we entered into an agreement to provide sanitary sewer services for the city of East Cleveland. The Public Works Department currently provides sewer services in 35 of the 59 communities in Cuyahoga County. And we were happy to say in 2011 we came on board with the city of East Cleveland. The presentation I have in front of you is, the first few pages are a brief overview of those type of services. And then I have a few of my colleagues here with me to kind of go over the financial outlook and an update on the specifics of some of the projects we have done throughout the course of the year here. Page 2 there is the menu of services that we currently provide. If you start on the lower left-hand corner, storm maintenance as requested. Many of the communities, the sanitary and storm system is completely separated. In the city of East Cleveland, your sewer system, your storm and sanitary are combined. Primarily 80% of the city is, and only a small 20% is separated. So you have a combined system, which is common for all of the inner-ring suburbs throughout this area. Okay, so anyways, in that corner there, storm maintenance as requested. Some communities we provide just that service also. We develop a mainline sewer cleaning, the next box up. We develop a digital video inspection. This is after you clean the sewer. You send a video camera down there to make sure the integrity of the pipe is still good. The next item there, smoke and dye testing. That's when you have infiltration that you need to find out where those leaks are happening. So smoke and dye testing help us identify that. Construction, lateral, and mainline sewer repair. This is whenever the pipe is compromised. This is where we have construction crews in-house that come out and do whatever repair. If you have sewage going into somebody's basement or anything like that, we're able to do the repair. House lateral cleaning. This is cleaning that pipe that goes from the mainline sewer coming in towards a house. Okay. Next one is treatment plant and pump station operation maintenance. It doesn't really apply over here, but at the same time in other communities we provide those services. And the next item is our 24/7 call-out service. We have dispatchers, on-call supervisors. So typically on a weekend or something like that, the only time we try and triage a situation. If there's damage, many people have their furnace or their wash machines in their basements. If there is ever sewage that starts to accumulate in somebody's basement where they're going to end up compromising those assets, that's when we try and react to it. Otherwise, we try and hold off until a Monday morning or so because there's overtime because we all work under collective bargaining agreements. So we try and minimize our cost on weekend call-outs. The next item there is, I mentioned this just a little bit earlier, about how the sewer system operates. This is page 3 here. In many of the communities, there's 2 pipes. There's the sanitary and the storm pipe. And like I had said, here in East Cleveland, roughly 80% of it is combined systems. So both the storm and the sanitary come into one pipe out in the street. This next page here, as many people don't know, that there is the regional sewer district and what the differentiation is between them and our department. And regional is primarily, they maintain or they treat the sewage that comes out of the houses. And they have large interceptors that collect a lot of that sewage before it's treated. What I like to, the local communities, the side streets where all of those pipes come together, those are the responsibilities of the respective communities to take care of them. That's the service that we provide. We go out and we take care of like those side street sewers until they come to the main interceptors. So just so everyone's aware, regional sewer is a much bigger animal than us because of the treatment capabilities. They have these $3 billion projects that are going forward right now, so I just want you to understand that. The next page there are some of the administrative services that we provide. CMOM administration, that's an EPA regulation, that's capacity management, operation, and maintenance administration. Next one is GIS information. We map everybody's sewers as we do work on them, so we are creating a database, a GIS database of the sewers that we maintain. Sewer builder license and permits. Anybody who works on the system whatsoever has to be licensed with us, and so you just can't have anybody go in and do any work on that system. And we issue permits so that they can touch it, because there's nothing worse if you got a bad contractor in there and he doesn't put a pipe back together correctly. That ends up causing problems for everybody. Environmental services, that's testing of any sewage. We have a finance component, how to help fund it when there's sewer repairs through water pollution control loan funds. Capital improvement planning is what we do also. And we have in-house engineering and we have consultants available. All of these services, we work with the Public Works Department on what we provide for the city. The next page here is the full service program. This is the number of parcels. And I'm going to bring up Mike Chambers. He's our finance. And Mike will give an overview of what the program is.
Thank you, Mike. Once again, my name is Mike Chambers. I'm the finance officer for the Department of Public Works. What you're looking here on page 6 is just kind of a brief summary of what we get from the county fiscal office, which is basically the property tax system. So the number of parcels within East Cleveland, 6,704. The average front foot, 56. Remember, it's the average. Some are going to be bigger, some are going to be much smaller. And the total community fee is $374,000. So back in 2011 is when we got involved with the city.
I was there.
Yeah, and obviously there was a need, and there continues to be a need. And one of the things that we established back in 2011 was what you see here is $2.40 for the sanitary, 10 cents for the storm, bringing a total of $2.50. What that $2.50 translates to, based on the average front footage, is about $140 a year, per house. So it's important, it's reasonable, and we've been doing the same rate now for the last, 4 years. If you go to page 7, this is where, this is a very important page. Once again, at the beginning of the year, we take this information from the property tax system. If everybody pays, we can expect to receive $923,000. Actual revenue is $647,000. Obviously, the difference is delinquencies, foreclosures, and so on. So unfortunately, it's $275,000 a year. If you take the same component with the storm, we expect to receive $38,000. We're only receiving $25,000. So the difference per year is about $308,000. And over the last 4 or 5 years, that's $1.2 million that is lost in revenue that we can't help solve some of the problems with. Very important slide to keep your eyes on that one. If we go to page 8, this is kind of a summary of what we did last year in the city. 311 house calls. I don't know if anybody in the room was one of them, but
yeah.
Okay, very good.
Well, and I wanted to just interrupt, because when we did the agreement, a lot of the residents wasn't aware that if the water backs up in your house, that you guys and it's coming from the sewer, will come out and take care of it. Well, mine backed up from the street, and you all came out, took care of it, and said, we will be watching, and we will come back in a 6-month interval and take care of it again. And when I have my meetings, I usually tell my people of that, because it's not widely known, and I'm glad that you're giving your presentation, because you're everywhere in East Cleveland. Matter of fact, the sewer district has a component right there on 123rd They just tore down and going to put a station there. So, yes, I know what you're doing. I've
Okay.
had the service and it's really.
Thank you. No, very appreciative of that. And just to continue on, 168 construction visits. Should I continue on?
You're
Okay.
stealing my thunder, go right ahead, sir.
Come on up, Brian.
I will.
This is Brian Hitch. I'm actually taking his work, and I apologize.
I've actually been to your council meeting before on your ward.
Yeah, yes, you have.
The 168 construction bids are mostly, what we try to do is work from the outside of the house and try to find a test tee. If we can't find it, we'll send a construction crew out to locate the test tee so we can work from it. Some of these are spot repairs also. We'll find something broken in the street, something broken on the right of way between the test tee and the main, and we'll do the repair, and that's where you get the 168
You found
visits. Right. The feet jetted, we like to keep this kind of close. It should be, you know, as many feet jetted as we camera, but we're finding when we came out our first couple of years out here in the program, we were putting out a lot of hot spots first. You guys had Ross Burkintelli at the time as the public Burkintelli service director, right? He was very proactive in keeping us hopping in different spots that he knew that wanted to be taken care of. Now this year we started a maintenance program in 2015, and I believe we already cleaned 30 streets in 2015. So we're moving forward on that. And the last thing on this is the catch basin cleaning, which we've rehabs. We've done 8 rehabs so far in 2014. Those were probably those catch basins in the street that were dilapidated, falling in, and those are the ones we got to. Mike could take it from here now, the program expenses for the whole.
What page are you on now?
I'll be on page 9. So all of those costs, all of those calls, all the jets, the TVs we did, this is the summary of the costs for 2014. $350,000 for the maintenance. We had some engineering and inspection, $21,000. Capital expenses, I'll go into a little more detail on the next slide, $94,000, for a total of $466,000. We are purchasing right now one sewer jet truck, which is $421,000. So, you know, I think how many do we have again? 9. So we have 9 of them servicing over 32 communities. So just to, you know, I put that in perspective because a lot of communities don't realize that just one of those trucks is $400,000, let alone the crews and the man hours and everything else going into that. So that was the total expenditures for 2014. If you want to take a quick look at page 10, you see we broke down the $94,000 in capital. These are some of the bigger ticket items that we like to break out that you're aware of. And just so you know, we did deliver to the city, and it's also available online, an annual report, kind of lists all the streets we were at, the segments, what we televised, and things like that. So the total of the capital when we did these different streets was $94,000. There's also this Coit Avenue loan. It's an old loan that the city has that we agreed when we merged